Hey guys, it's Kelsey and I'm back with Off the Board with Pineapple Papers. So this is a monthly hop that we do now where we use our Pinterest inspiration to create a page. So I pinned this one from Moira. I love Moira's layering style. I love just most of her pages. I'm just like, I totally need to do that. So I decided to take this one. I really liked how she did her layering. I feel like the way she does her layering, it's so clean while being interesting, and I feel like her style I can easily translate into my style. So I was really inspired by this page and the products. She was using Pink Paisley's Auburn Lane, and I have been using this collection this month, so I really wanted to pull it out after seeing her use it. So yeah, that's where I'm starting. I do have this background from Michael's. I don't know what it's called, but I just wanted a basic kind of simple wood grain. They didn't have any plain wood grain, so I have this florally one, but I only have the 6x8 paper pad for Auburn Lane, so I've been having to pull in some 12x12s from other collections to be the background. But I feel like most wood grains you can use with this collection and it'll be fine. So I'm going through the paper pad, pulling out some scraps, and I'm just trying to layer the same way that Moira did. She had a few horizontal pieces, and then she stacked out a few vertical ones as well. So I'm trying to keep the similar style that she did, but not do the exact proportion, which is weird because usually when I want to scrap lift someone, it's because I really like their proportion, but because I'm using scraps, I have limited sizes, so I did have to tweak it a little bit, but I really wanted to take her way of layering and do it my way. So I really wanted you to be able to see the correlation and the inspiration with it still being different by the end. So I really loved this triangle paper, and I haven't used it yet, and Moira used it in hers, so I was like, right, I have to use it on this page. Pulling in a few pinks, a few black and whites. I thought about pulling in some of the green that's in this collection, but once I started going, I really wanted to pull more from the papers that are in this triangle print, and there's no teal in the pineapple print, so I stuck more with doing more of a monochromatic pink and brown type thing. So that's where I'm going. I decided to ink everything. I started gluing things down, but I noticed that Moira had inked the edges on her layout, and I think it looks so nice with this collection. So I did just take some Distress ink. This is Ranger's Frayed Burlap color. So I'm going to go ahead and ink all the edges. I think it looks so nice having that soft brown edge on all of these papers, so it takes me a minute to go back and pull all the pieces apart to ink all of them and then put them all back together. But I really like how this one's coming together. Like I said, I just love the way Moira layers, so I was really happy to be able to do something like that, because I can definitely, it's different than my layering, but it still uses the same kind of principles, and I just like that it's a twist on what I usually like to do, doing it her way, and I think it turns out so fresh and clean. There's just something about the way that she layers that just makes it look so elegant. So that's really what I'm going for on this page. I'm using this little ledger as the bigger piece in the background, so I'm going to ink that, and then that's going to end up getting chopped up into two pieces so it can really stretch down the page. But I do need to come up with some horizontal piece that can fill in that gap. So there is a cut apart sheet that comes in this collection. So there's this one piece that says Let's Love More. It's a black piece with the floral, and I thought the colors went really well with the papers I was already using, so I'm going to cut that into two pieces and have that be my horizontal piece, and that will cover up the gap from that ledger paper. That's going to be the larger background. So you can see there's that huge gap there, but no one will be none the wiser when I get this last piece tucked in. So I'm going to ink it and then chop it into two pieces, and that'll sandwich my photo, so that'll cover up the gap. But this photo again is of Bennett and Kevin. I know I've been doing a lot of pictures of them lately, but they are so stinking cute together. They are just the cutest little buds, and they're just both, I just want to squeeze them both, and together it's just ridiculous. So this is outside. This is in my mom's backyard. She was babysitting. She got a picture of them sitting on this little bench in her backyard, so I definitely wanted to document that. I know I want a couple little clusters. I'm going to try and keep them where Moira had them in her original layout. I really like where she put everything because it created a really nice visual triangle. So I already know there's going to be a little cluster in the upper left-hand corner of the photo. Something, the title needs to be on the bottom right part of the photo, and then there needs to be a little cluster in the upper right-hand side that I'm putting together now. So I'm just trying to take a few scraps of the papers I already used in the photo layers and just mimic them in the upper right hand corner. So I'm just going to take a few scraps from some of those papers to stack them up. But I'm looking through the ephemera to try and figure out what I want to do. I really like the idea of using a house just because this was at Bennett's grandma's house, so I thought it would be nice to incorporate one of those. Auburn Lane is super cozy and homey, and so I've liked using it on pages with Bennett at his grandma's house just because I feel like it's super appropriate. I know it's a fall collection and have a lot of fall collections I'm using right now, but no autumn photos. All the photos I'm scrapbooking right now are like spring, so I'm trying to use all these fall collections in not a fall way, but with these being home and cozy, they still go really well, so that's kind of what I'm rolling with. I decided to pop up this little house on some foam, so you saw me do that. And then Moira had a really cute little tiny doily up there in that cluster with the house or whatever she had in her original. And I did have a cute little doily from Ronnie so that she die cut for me, so I tucked that in there. I think that looks really nice as a base for that cluster. And now I want to get the photo layers in the upper right hand corner, or not paper layers, not photo layers. So I'm inking all of those as well, just so it all correlates. I really wanted a black pattern, a pink pattern, and a foiled pattern, just because I feel like those three would mimic all the other papers that are in the page. So that's just what I'm rolling with. I already had a scrap of all of these, so I just inked them and stuck them down pretty much the same way Moira did, and I think that looks really nice up there. So that's going to be one little cluster. I'm really going to try and keep the embellishment simple. I really wanted this page to be more about the paper layers. I didn't want to bog it down too much, because Moira also has a really good way of embellishing without it starting to look cluttered. Like, she can do a lot of really cute things and it still look airy. So I'm going to try and do the same thing. But really, I think the only thing I add other than the house I already have on there is some thickers. So there are some glittery gold thickers I want to pull in because I thought it needed a little sparkle. I thought the gold also looked really good with this collection. It's very warm. So I think I play around a little bit with some more ephemera. I do add some washi here. I have this, butterfly washi and a black and white striped washi that I'm going to add top and bottom of both of these layers just to add a little extra detail, because I am going to keep this really light on the embellishment side. So I think adding a little bit more to the layeriness helps fill out and make it interesting. So I'll do that, and then I'll go in with my thickers once I find them. I have a lot of gold thickers, so I was trying to find the right one. Moira also had a frame in this cluster, so I really thought about adding in this frame here, which I thought looked nice. But once I decided to go in with these gold thickers, I kind of thought it was unnecessary. I was going more for the glitteriness more than the foil, so I took off the frame because I thought it was a little distracting, and it was such a huge chunk of that coppery foil. I thought it offset the gold in a weird way. I know the other foil in the pattern papers are that copper, but I thought it was in a small enough amount where it didn't like, oh, there's two different metallics on here and they're clashing type thing. So I took the frame off, and I like this a lot better. There's this really sweet glittery bow I put in the upper right hand, 2 plus signs in that one corner, and then the title I just had Darling, and then you saw me go in with my Heidi Swap Gold color shine. So here are the close-ups. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you check out everyone else playing along, and if you play along as well, make sure you use our hashtag. I will link everything in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.